As Donald Trump runs back to Mar-a-Lago to play golf once again this weekend on the taxpayer's dime as he keeps crashing our economy, he posted this message to the American people: shut up about egg prices. Shut up. Here he makes this post on a social media platform. It's an article from Charlie Kirk, and Donald Trump posted, "Shut up about egg prices, Americans. Trump is saving consumers millions." No, he is not saving consumers millions as he's playing golf on the taxpayer dime. Donald Trump is crashing the economy with his feckless trade wars where he goes, "I'm going to do a trade war today. Oops, the market's crashing. I'm not going to do a trade war. I'm going to do a trade war with Canada and Mexico. Oopsies, the market's crashing. I'm not going to do that." Now, because of Donald Trump's policies, the Atlanta Federal Reserve is predicting a negative 2.8 to negative 3% GDP in quarter one, a contraction. And we're also predicting inflation, which is stagflation. Low GDP, surging prices equals stagflation, which is a disaster for our economy. Most economists now are predicting a recession, a great recession, or even a depression, as Donald Trump's surrogates are out there saying, "Oh, that's just a short-term disturbance," or "America needs to detox," or "We don't really need federal workers. Why do we need them?" or "Why do veterans need jobs?" So absolutely pathetic, and how dare he say this while Americans are suffering. His message is shut up about egg prices. Well, meanwhile, his Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, has been making her rounds on all of the Fox shows. And here she says that what Americans really need if they want to deal with the surging egg prices is that they need to buy chickens, because the chickens will make their eggs for them. Play this clip.
I think the silver lining in all of this is, how do we, in our backyards, we've got chickens too in our backyard, how do we solve for something like this? And people are sort of looking around thinking, wow, well, maybe I could get a chicken in my backyard. And it's awesome. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think everyone who isn't a farmer right now wants to be. So you're in the right department, Brooke.
Let's see how much these eggs are today. $31.99. This is comical at this point. This is comedy. $32 for 5 dozen eggs. When they used to be $10, $12.99. Comical at this point.
I just want to say that it's wild that as a 2-income household, my husband and I have come to the realization we can't afford groceries right now. Like, just straight up can't afford groceries, because if we buy groceries, then we either won't be able to pay our rent or our electric bill, because both of those come out of this pay cycle and they will take the entire pay cycle. That's bonkers. That's so fucking wild. We have 2 incomes and we cannot afford to eat, and we don't even have kids. Like, it's literally just the 2 of us, and we can't afford to eat with 2 incomes. That is just... But I mean, I guess, you know, that means we won't have to wash dishes, because our dishwasher is still broken, as it has been for 2 months at the place that we pay so much in rent, you know. Wild.
Guys, I'm literally coming in 40 to 30 minutes early to get some food here at Panda, because we're able to get food before we clock in, because literally groceries are so expensive, so you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Nearly everyone I've talked to recently is just like, yeah, haha, I can't really afford groceries. Guess I just have to cut it down to 2 meals a day, and groceries are a little too much. Gotta see like how long I can get my food to last me. That's not a Why are we casually being like, yeah, we can't afford groceries? I can't. I literally eat like 2 meals a day. I barely eat out. I don't order stuff. I eat like 2 meals a day. Sometimes I'll just have a nap for dinner because I just can't keep buying groceries. Like, you're telling us all of us have jobs, and the people specifically I was talking to have like well-paying jobs, and we all just still can't afford groceries. I mean, we're single people living on our own, so like there's rent, but besides for just paying for rent, you should also be able to afford to live, to eat, to feed yourself, and we literally can't do that right now.
I don't want to trigger anyone by talking about this, but like, how much money are we spending on groceries a month? I just went over our budget for last month, and our family of 4 spent $1,200 on groceries. And like, yes, that does include like household items like toilet paper, paper towels, like household items, but $1,200. We're not eating all organic. We're not eating like anything out of the ordinary. Just like a normal American diet. Like when did this happen?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2025, where a carton of eggs costs $12. You want the 18 pack, $15. If you want a little small medium pack, $10. Fam, these shits used to be 3 for $5. Please send help.
We are all going to have to eat a lot more vegetarian food over the next few years, and I wanted to add my little piece to this because I saw another creator talking about how economic instability and the current food prices are really putting a lot of meat out of reach for a lot of Americans. I've been a vegetarian for about 8 years now, and I cook everything from scratch. So let's start off. Beans, rice and beans, put them together, they're a full protein. I know. I don't like rice and beans. There are other things than rice and black beans. Every single culture, everywhere you go, has a version of a rice and bean, a rice and lentil, a rice and legume. You can do a starch like a potato and beans or something like that. Slowly introducing it allows you to handle the fiber a lot better, but over time you really do get used to it. I eat a lot of beans. People are always talking about me eating beans. But I think another thing that we need to talk about is how climate change is really going to throw a hammer in things, because it's going to make everything even worse. Areas that we graze animals for pasture, they're not going to exist anymore. And it's also going to become very hot in places that we once could raise animals. So prices are only going to get higher. And as we have an immigration or a migrant crisis or whatever we're having right now, and food workers are not working on the fields, the prices in the grocery stores are going to quickly reflect that. You can get a nice meal in for 50 cents. 50 cents. Throw in some cinnamon, throw in some cumin, throw in some coriander, throw in some salt, throw in some MSG. I promise it will be good. Maybe we'll turn this into a cooking page so we can all survive the next economic collapse.
Beans and rice are a complete protein. You can survive on that basically forever. You might not like it, but you can. And they're very, very cheap. This is a 20-pound bag of rice. I got it for $25 in Brooklyn. If you don't live in Brooklyn, you can get it for cheaper. Please enjoy my dried beans collection. These are also very cheap, and they last forever. This is about twice as many beans as I usually have on hand, but yes, this is how I live my life. My time has finally come. You can get dried beans for basically no money at basically any store. Hit up an international store if you can. Very, very cheap. Oh, but I don't know how to cook dried beans. Boom, Instant Pot. They're extremely easy to use and they're not very expensive. I am the world's worst cook. I can't pay attention to anything for more than 5 minutes. The Instant Pot is amazing for me. That's how I cook my beans and my rice. If you don't have that, no problem. Crock pots work great. If you don't have that, no problem. You can cook them on the stove. It's more of a pain, but you can do it. And it costs nothing. And they keep forever. Oh wow, that sounds really boring though, doesn't that get old? Boom! Spices. Costs a little bit up front to get a collection going, but it's worth it because it keeps forever, and it makes food delicious. You can make all kinds of interesting things with beans, rice, and what you're seeing here. Beans and rice are a base for a lot of different dishes. Whatever you can get your hands on, there's probably a recipe online for how to make something really, really good with it. Got some veggies? Put them in there. Got some meat? Put it in there. Whatever you got, you can probably make something very delicious, and again, very cheap. Look, we don't know what the tariffs are going to do, honestly, but worst case scenario, you'll never have to buy beans and rice again. It's so easy. You can do it for cheap. Go out there. Get you some damn beans and rice.
How are we doing? How are we doing? Went to the grocery store. Let me show you what I got. It was just a quick run. Trash bags, a few command strips, only 2 pre-made food things, and 2 little Easter basket type things that I'm gonna put in. Little magnet. That's it. That's all I got. $121.
All I know was complaining about how expensive eggs are now. And I said, hey, come to my house. I got plenty. You can have all you want. So she gets here, sees the eggs, and says, wait a minute, are those not store-bought eggs? I said, no. She sees my bucket on the table and says, wait a minute, there's poop on them. There's feathers in there. Like, they're dirty. She told me, I don't know if I want to eat them. They had chicken poop on them. I said, all chicken eggs had chicken poop or chicken slime on them. They all came out of a chicken's ass. She said, well, I was hoping you would have store-bought eggs because they're cleaner than yard eggs and they taste better. I said, what are you talking about? Everybody knows that yard eggs are way better than store-bought eggs because they're fresher. She said, but they're sitting out on your table. You ain't had them in the fridge. I said, you don't have to. She busts the egg open and says, wait a minute, why has it got an orange yolk? Does that mean it's old? I said, no, that means it's fresh. Fresh egg is going to have a bright or dark orange yolk. That's a good thing. I said, don't you realize when they pick those eggs up off the farm, they sit on a truck, then they sit in another company where they get washed, and then they sit in the store. You're talking about weeks upon weeks of processing before the customer buys them. Yellow yolk means they're older than these. She said she didn't want them. I said, so y'all sitting over there with no food, and you don't want to take these eggs because they came off of my farm instead of the store. She told me, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable eating these eggs because I don't think they've been sanitized right. I said, okay, honey, that's fine. More for me and my neighbors. How in the hell can you say that these eggs are not as good as store-bought eggs? That girl's smoking crack. But I feel like that's what I always get for trying to help somebody out, trying to do the right thing. I always get spit in the face. I hope she has fun paying $12 a carton at the grocery store because I ain't offering her shit else. Anyways, I'm about to go eat my poop-covered chicken egg.
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on with the world? I just paid $346 for under 5 bags of groceries. Granted, I had a $41 can of formula in there, but still, that is fucking crazy to me. $346 for some damn food, and it wasn't even that much food. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. And then that one back there is half full. Not even 5 bags. Can somebody please explain? I'm gonna have to go get like a whole ass second job just to feed me and my husband, let alone when the baby grows up. Good Lord. Is this just in California or is this everywhere? Because I remember when that much groceries used to be like $100 max. And $41 for a can of fucking formula. What? I can't deal. Can somebody please explain this to me?
You guys remember back in the early 2000s when people would go grocery shopping, mostly at Costco and Walmart, and they would fill up one whole cart, and it was so big, like it would be a whole family, and they would leave that cart in the front, and they would go and fill up another cart, and they would buy like 2 or 3 carts worth of groceries. Do you guys remember that? That's when like people had a lot of money, and then now we can't even afford to fill up half our cart. Like, have you guys seen that? Do you know? Tell me you don't remember Saturday morning, a family walking in, filling up a whole cart of groceries. They can't push it around, so they leave it at the front, and then they fill up the other cart, like, finish the rest of their shopping. Nobody does that anymore, guys. Who the fuck does that? Maybe on 4th of July, when they're buying, pinches cosas para la carne asada. Pero, bitch, we can't even afford 5 things on our grocery list now. With one paycheck. We have to wait for the other paycheck, guys.
Y'all, groceries done got freaking expensive. Just this little bit, mainly for like this weekend. $215. That's all I got. Just this right here. I don't even eat that much. This is just like mainly for my kids and stuff. But these prices are ridiculous. These eggs were like $9 and something. Freaking crazy. That bag of pizza rolls, $6 and something. I mean, are you kidding me right now? It makes you not even want to eat that much because you ain't got the money to go buy more groceries. Freaking crazy.
Bill Wilson, senior editor of Supermarket News, here to do a weekly egg check. We're going to check the price of eggs and the supply of eggs at local grocery stores. I'm at the Jewel Osco in Sycamore, Illinois. On Wednesday, March 5th, I was here just the other day, and a dozen grade A large eggs for Jewel, a Jewel product, was going for $8.99. They had plenty of supply, so let's see what's going on now. So we have a dozen of grade A large eggs for Jewel for $8.99. Shelves are bare. Much more well stocked here earlier in the week.
We did groceries on Thursday and paid around $2 something, and went to Costco after that and paid about $100. And that was Thursday, and now it's Sunday. And I'm like, we need to go to the grocery again. And spend about $350 in the last couple of days for groceries for this week alone. It's the first week in March. I mean, where's my people that is ready to be done with the U.S.? Like, y'all, we ready to go or what? Because, like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this no more. The more you make, the more you got to spend. And it's not even like you spending to be frivolous. You're spending to survive. Like, it's just food. It's food. Like, I'm paying the amount of money I pay in rent for food every month. You feel me? And so, like, where are all the people that's ready to leave? Because I'm done with America. Like, I'm moving out. So where y'all trying to go? Because for me, my top two is Thailand is number one, Mexico, Merida, Mexico, number two. Because I don't foresee how I could stay here and thrive with my 2 kids and my family. I don't see it. It's off. Something's off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everybody's making jokes about eggs being super expensive, but like, this is honestly ridiculous. I mean, we just did groceries on Thursday, and now it's Sunday, and I need to do another haul of groceries to get us through the week. And this is just the first week in March. Don't mind my family back there. I just came and locked myself in the closet because I'm like, yeah, America, count your days. Count your days, B, because you're done.